these are massive successes. I mean, it means either the world being at war or not, had Pakistan played or any the facilitating country.
Thank you so much for your time today. As you've mentioned recently that Pakistan has gained a lot of diplomatic momentum, how do you think we got here, and what do you think out of these recent efforts to facilitate talks between Iran and the US, what has Pakistan gained from all of this?
Oh, as far as the recent diplomacy on the part of Pakistan that successfully achieved a ceasefire between Iran and the United States, and then successfully achieved its extension to the ceasefire between Iran and the United States, and created the environment that allowed for a conversation to commence. That's all a result of diplomacy, and those who believe in diplomatic solutions and peaceful resolutions of conflicts will always advocate for diplomacy. In the current context, I think not only Pakistan but internationally, this war has had consequences in a way that perhaps no other conflict has had. You have obviously the lives lost in Iran and even across the Middle East in the strikes that took place. The human toll of the tragedy is palpable. I mean, the school attack that took place in Iran with the young girls being martyred. Though in that context, there's always a human toll that's tragic to a conflict. But in this context, in addition to that, the economic toll of this conflict is not just being felt in the countries that are involved. This is being felt in every single country across the planet. And the citizens of, obviously of Iran, but also of the United States, of Europe, of the Middle East, of East Asia, of South Asia, every single one of us are paying the price of this conflict at the petrol booth, at the grocery store, every single day. And it's been going on for almost 8 weeks now. Even with the ceasefire in place, the unresolved issues that are still pending is causing a huge economic cost that everybody is bearing. So it's in our collective interest to ensure that not only is the ceasefire sustained, but we hopefully achieve a more sustainable peace for the region. Now, in that context, it's not a Pakistani victory. In that context, it is a victory for the international community. And I believe that everybody is trying for that goal at the moment.
Right. And people were talking about a new world order even before this war started, and it seems very obvious now that even once this war is over, we're going to be in a very different world. How do you perceive that world, especially Pakistan's role and fitting into this new world order?
If we're looking at US-Pakistan relations or the new way of going about the US's traditional US foreign policy, I believe there have been actions of the current US administration that obviously have medium, long-term consequences, and the world will react or adjust the way it conducts itself as a result. But the longevity, how long is this new world order, if it is a new world order, or at least if we're conceding that it's the same order conducting itself in a new way, does it last till November when the US has midterm elections? Does it last till 3 years' time when there's a new presidential election? I think what the international community needs to understand is that we need stability. We need stability in international affairs, we need stability in economic affairs, we need stability in political affairs, we need stability on a global level to maintain the economic activities of all countries and achieve the economic growth targets that every country must set for itself for their people to prosper. And in that context, we need consistent international players, not these disruptive every 2-year cycle, 4-year cycle about somersaults in foreign policy and the conduct of foreign policy. And while there's maybe strategic or immediate advantages for any one country in the short term, in Pakistan's long-term interest and in every country's long-term interest, particularly for the countries in the region, we need a consistency and a stability in international relations and the conduct of international affairs that we're seeing less and less of. And it's in the interest of all countries, Pakistan's small middle countries, that the international order, insofar as international law, the United Nations, and these constructs remain relevant, as relevant as they can be, no matter how flawed. And if we truly move to a world where these institutions are no longer relevant, then it's a man world, if I'm saying it politely. And in that context, might is right. And we've seen historically the conduct of what happens, the consequences of what happens when might is right.
You mentioned the creation of the UN, and the general sentiment, especially amongst the youth, is that the UN has failed them or that it's powerless. What do you make of that?
See, nothing is black and white. It's succeeded in certain cases, it's not been so successful in certain cases. The fact that it exists is a testament to all countries signing up to a principle. And us just signing up and agreeing to that principle is a victory of that institution. And once you start, this is a concept of the sort of, it's not even populism, but an anti-institutionalism and to achieve authoritarianism anywhere, you first rip down the institutions. So domestically, in domestic contexts around the world, I'm not saying any specific country, obviously, but you diminish the credibility of existing institutions. And you then create within your society a lack of trust for the established media where people get their free and impartial information, then a lack of trust in the decision-making institutions. Now, no parliament anywhere is 100% successful or 100% a failure. No government anywhere is 100% successful or any. But when you convince your people that the institution itself is not to be trusted, what authoritarian forces seek to do is gain themselves the independence to act whichever way they want. And I think that sort of approach, which has been the conduct of forces internationally within their own countries all over the world, now is being played out in the international arena. And we definitely grew up, particularly from this side of the sort of global southwest, northwest divide, as part of the developing world, believing that there has been a failure of the international system and that could be assigned to the institution rather than to the players at times, and it would be blamed on the United Nations. That you failed on Kashmir, you failed on Palestine, you failed on X, Y, and Z. But when you remove those constructs and you allow people to abandon the confines of international law, and you cede the space of that institution existing in all, or you undermine the trust that the people of the international community have in those institutions. I think it undermines our collective ability to achieve things together. So as far as how successful the UN has been, it's a forum. It's the forum like our National Assembly or any other forum. And now it's how those individual countries have used it, how they're endemic fault lines within the institution that have been abused. But by and large, I believe that the United Nations has been a force for good, and the fact that if it continues to function, it's in all of our interests, leaving aside whether it's failed or succeeded on any specific agenda item.
And briefly coming back to Pakistan, there's been a lot of debate about whether our recent role in the talks has been success or a failure, considering that, I mean, J.D. Vance came at first, and then the last 2 weekends we've been waiting for the American delegation. So what do you make of that?
I think that diplomacy, people unfortunately have a black and white attitude. And this is not a cricket match that you either win or you lose within a specific given time frame. Diplomacy is a process. The JCPOA, which was signed in 2015, I believe, and was when the international community, the US, the EU agreed with the Iranian government that they wouldn't be pursuing nuclear weapons, etc. And it was a landmark, historic diplomatic achievement at the time. That took
About
2 years. 2 years to negotiate. and 2 seconds to exit and undermine. Now, as far as the diplomatic process, it's the fact that you achieve diplomacy in such a conflict within the given time frame, that's a success. The fact that you established a ceasefire, that's a success. The fact that you extended the ceasefire, these are massive successes. I mean, it means either the world being at war or not, had Pakistan played, or any the facilitating country played their role or not in that particular context. As far as a conclusive deal is concerned, a partial deal is concerned, what the ultimate fate of our region and the final form of these negotiations or this diplomacy takes place, that's to be seen in due course. But the fact that diplomacy is taking place, we're not actively got a war at the moment taking part on our border, affecting the entire region. That is a huge achievement, not just for Pakistan, but for the entire international community, no matter what comes out of this. The fact that diplomacy has been deployed, these warring parties came and started a conversation. We don't know how the conversation will conclude, but have started this conversation, is a victory for diplomacy and hence a victory for Pakistan.
Great. Thank you so much.